It's that special time of year again when the world's eco-elites fire up their private jets, fly thousands of kilometers into someplace luxurious, this time the middle of the Amazon, and gather in an air-conditioned convention center to scold you about your carbon footprint. Yes, the United Nations Climate Change Conference is happening, this time in Belem, Brazil. And this year, Rebel News has been officially accredited to attend. I know. I can't believe it myself. After years of being banned for the crime of asking skeptical questions, years of doing some of what I think is our best work from outside the gates, the UN has finally capitulated. They're letting us in. We're headed straight into the Amazon, and all of our reports will be at rebelun.com. And I'm asking you for your help to offset the insane costs of this trip. To even get there, we had to shell out for some of the most expensive and complicated flights with crazy layovers that we have ever seen. Why? Because in excess of 55,000 people, a small city's worth, of activists, lobbyists, bureaucrats, politicians, and professional virtue signalers are swarming Belem all at once. So many climate crusaders are descending on the city that the UN is importing cruise ships to handle the overflow. Cruise ships for a climate summit to lecture us about our summer road trips. You can't parody these people because they beat you to it every single time. And in their rush to welcome all these planet-saving delegates, the Brazilian government went ahead and plowed a massive new highway straight through the Amazon rainforest, the kind of thing that would earn you or me a decade's worth of lectures on CBC radio. But for the climate summit, you guys, it's nation building. Now, here's where it gets really good. The UN is hosting panel after panel celebrating itself for its moral leadership on Indigenous rights. The same UN ideology embedded in the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which British Columbia here in Canada copied directly into law as DRIPA. It's been used to block resource development and, frankly, jobs for everyone, including Indigenous communities. And in BC, it's turned into a slow motion crisis for private property rights and basic governance. DRIPA is putting private land ownership on the extinction list faster than any endangered species they claim to protect. And now the UN is getting mugged by its own virtue signaling, because in Brazil, Indigenous communities are protesting these climate-teers, accusing the UN of bulldozing local land rights, ignoring community input, and treating the Amazon like a prop for international bureaucrats and moral preening. I love when bad people get mugged by the reality of their own bad policies. There's poetic justice in that. It's thick enough to pave a rainforest with, and apparently they're trying to do that. Now, the host city of Belem has been cutting down real forests to install giant fiberglass trees so delegates have something photogenic to stand in front of. Real trees out, plastic trees in, peak hypocrisy. And once I land in Brazil, after nearly 2 days of travel, you know exactly what I'm hunting for. Private jets lined up, wingtip to wingtip, like a carbon-intensive fashion runway. The idling limos belching out more CO2 in an afternoon than a grain truck at harvest. If you care about those sorts of things, I don't, but these people sure say they do. And of course, the media room, cooled by industrial AC so powerful, I'll be lucky not to come home with a case of Legionnaire's disease. Because nothing screams, we're saving the planet, like air conditioning in a room of climate journalists down to Arctic temperatures in the middle of the rainforest to lecture people about the superheated planet. We're not going to clap like trained seals. You know what we do here at Rebel News. We are not going to take marching orders from the UN Communications Department. We're not going because the government paid us to. I'm looking at you, CBC. We're going because you want us to. We're going because someone has to expose the hypocrisy, the elitism, the carbon guzzling excess, the whole climate industrial complex from inside the fortress this time. All of our reports, investigations, and on-the-ground coverage will be at rebelun.com, where you can help us cover the price to do this important journalism. If you want real journalism from inside the UN's most bloated climate conference, follow us as we head straight to Belem, the belly of the beast. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. We're going to Brazil, not for the beaches, not for the butt lifts, but to expose the world's biggest carbon-burning taxpayer-funded hypocrisy machine, their annual climate change conference. If you think this is important, please support our work at rebelun.com.